This is a 1999 Mercury Mountaineer. This model is identical to the Ford Explorer. So if you're looking on YouTube and you're typing in Mercury Mountaineer, it's going to be very hard to find anything to do with pretty much anything on this vehicle. You're not going to see a lot of videos. But if you typed in Ford Explorer, you're going to see videos. These are all the same pretty much. You're not going to get anything different from a Ford Explorer to a Mountaineer. The purpose of this video is that none of the windows are rolling down. So we got no power to the windows. In order to test this, be sure to turn your key is on. So you could crank the car or you could have the vehicle in the on position. And how you know this is your radio would be on. I'm hoping it would be. All right. Now let's have a look at this. Here we go. I'm going to press down on the driver's side. Nothing. On passenger side, back windows. Check your door lock. This locks the windows from you going up and down. Make sure it's unlocked. Do it again. All right. Before you touch anything, and assuming your car is on and you've already tested this on and unlock button, your fuse is going to be the first thing. You have a fuse panel that's right here inside your vehicle, and you have an external fuse box that is on the driver's side right behind your battery. As you can see, and this is the box. You're going to put your thumb, you're going to do like this, see, your thumb over this box. It's going to be hard to pull up. Don't be afraid. You're going to push your thumb in towards the passenger side, and then it should pop up. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Boy, that was giving me a hard time. It'll give you a hard time. It's not a relay, your fuse. If you look in your manual that's inside of your glove compartment, you could actually get this confused with the window that says relay. It's not a relay. These are the black ones. Those are relays. It's a fuse. So this fuse that I'm looking at, according to this relay, the fuse would be number 4. So it says it on the box where I'm holding it. So if you flip the box upside down, see the reflection. It says it's fuse number 4. This is fuse number 4, and the number on the fuse will be 30. It'll be a green fuse, and it's a big one. So it's the second one. It's the green one from there. All right, you test this, and you're going to test it with a multimeter. And while you're there, test all your fuses. You're not going to test your voltage regulators, but your fuses. But if the green one is bad, and let's say you need your windows rolled down, just look for another fuse that's not going to affect the motor and it driving, and you could pull the fuse and swap it out for the green just to get your windows down. And until you go get a fuse, or if you're just using it to test it to see if your windows roll up or down. If you don't have a multimeter to test this, pull the fuse out, pull the bottom fuse and put it where the burnt one was at, and test your windows. You could do it that way too. All right, close the box. Assuming you got power, you have your car on, your windows are not rolling down, and you check your fuse. That's all you can do. Now time to get technical. Like a surgeon, inside of your vehicle, the only thing that's left is from the fuse, you got power that goes to the window. Now this is where everybody goes wrong. If you press all these buttons, nothing doesn't happen for your windows, right? But listen to this. Your lock and unlock got power, and so does your mirror to adjust your mirrors. But let me tell you something. The power that goes to this lock is a separate power from the mirror, which is a separate power from your windows. So don't confuse the power, the unlock and the lock. Don't confuse that power working and saying, hey, that works and the window should be working. So don't confuse that power with this power. It's a totally separate. It's getting power in a different way. All right. You want to know you're going to say, oh, maybe it's the board in here. Well, let's get to that, right? In order to get to that, the only way to get this board out is to remember this. This board does not come out. It does not. Don't try it. You'll break it. The way to do it is a Phillips screwdriver. Look beneath the door handle. And it's funny because when I say close the door, you grab the door handle. But then when you open the door, you're grabbing the door handle here. So if you know the name of this, leave it in the comment. I bet you $5 after this video, I'll say, oh, I remember what the door handle, I remember what this name is to this. But you're going to take off both your Phillips. It's only 2 screws, Phillips. There's a little plastic. See my finger that's beneath it? The plastic pops out. You got to pull the handle open, and this plastic piece will fall off. All right, once you do that, that's the only screws. You're going to go to the corner of your door, the edge of it. You're going to stick a butter knife and pop this up. Now, mine is slightly loose because I already done this. So you pop it up, work your fingers all the way around, pop in the tabs, and stop here. Come all the way back the opposite way, work your way around the door, and pop all your tabs. Once you pop the tabs, the next trick is this whole plastic kit needs to go up. So you'll grab this handle, and you're going to use this handle to lift the door, this whole plastic kit off. You're still going to have a hard time. So what I did is, you're going to get a flathead. I used some needle noses, and I wedged it right in here, right in this edge of this plastic window, and I was able to pop the plastic. Now, it does not pop, actually. The reason why, it's fastened to the sealant, which is made of rubber, and it seals the window waterproof. So that's why it was hard to get it out. You don't have to unscrew your door jamb. Like, you can just lock it in. It's out of the way. Well, anyways, pull this up, and you're going to pull the whole plastic up. You're going to set it down, and it will go down to the ground. You don't have to worry. The wires in the door jamb are different, and they're long, so you could actually place this down. You're going to get an opportunity to look. Now you're going to see that there's two tabs, no screws, just tabs, and this slides in backwards, so it comes out through the back side of the door. When you're done what you're doing, you put it back in the same way. If you're to put this door skin on the panel, you are not going to be able to put this on from the outside. It does not work that way. So the way you take it off is the way you put it back on. Assuming you have the panel off, there's only one wire that goes to this. Remember, it's a different power wire than this, but it's definitely a power wire that goes in there, and it's supposed to be a blue wire. Now, what you're going to get, if you have a multimeter, which I do, there's a bolt here right behind this fuse panel. See that little brass bolt? You're going to find a piece of metal in your vehicle to attach your ground, and you're going to use the power side. You're going to set your meter reader, so your multi-reader, and you're definitely going to want to go ahead and put your lead. You're going to use your lead to test the wires inside of this panel. Now, one of them is going to be power. If you touch it and you're not getting no reading on this, on any of the power ones, don't confuse the power with your lock and unlock, just off here, then I got some news for you. It is not your board. And so this board is not bad. And check this out too, also, keep this in mind. Most of these boards, when they do go bad, the whole board doesn't go bad. Only one side goes bad, one window. So that's another indicator. So sometimes a tab will fall off. You could pop it back on. You're lucky your window works. Other times this is the problem. All right, so now that I figured I ain't getting no power at all to this. I already tested it. I'm getting no power. So I just put back the door panel back on, put my two screws back on, put my plastic on, pop everything back in. It pushes. By the way, don't punch this plastic. Don't punch it on. Make sure that the tabs on the inside are aligned, and then they pop in gently. All right, now we're past that. So now we already got past this. So we did the fuse, and we done this. So now check this out. I got something for you. Assuming your key is on in your ignition, right? You have a rubber boot. It's an insulation rubber boot. It's between your vehicle and the door, which is the door jamb. If you were to press with your hand, hold down the window, because your window's rolled up. How's it going to roll up? You're not going to get nothing. You got to hold down the down button with your left hand, and with your right hand, while you're holding the button down, wiggle the boot. Now, if this window jumps a little bit, just boom, and it jumps, well, then you know there's something wrong with the wire that's coming from your vehicle to the door. And this is a very common thing in Ford Explorers. You're going to see this. You're not going to see it in Mountaineer, because there's not a lot of YouTube videos on Mountaineers. But your Ford Explorers are the same as these Mountaineers, and make sure they're about roughly the same year. All right. A wire will break inside of the door. It really will. And the thing about the wire that breaks inside the door is, first of all, the wire is insulated with its own coating protection. And the insulation is called a rubber boot, external. So how could this wire break? Well, I'm not going to sit here and go over about opening and closing the doors a million times, and eventually it wears the wire down. But that's what happened here. So as you can see, check it out. This wire that powers the door, just the door, the windows, not nothing else. The wire is actually blue, and it has a black stripe on it. And it's a thick wire. It's not a thin one. It's a thick one. And that's the power that runs the door. Well, when I went to go remove the boot, you're going to have this zip tie. You're going to remove the zip tie with your needle noses. Just pop it off. Pull down on your boot. Now remember, when you pull down on your boot on one side, remove your pliers, go to the middle, pull it down, remove your pliers, go to an end. So work your way around. Because if you stay on one end and you try to pull it, you're going to tear that rubber boot. Now, as I pulled my rubber boot down, guess what popped out at me? This blue wire. Now, I got ahead of you guys on this. And how I got ahead of you guys on this is I already started repairing it with this extension here, this little blue tab extension. So I got that from AutoZone. You get them for $3. You get a handful of them. All you need is one. But that's what you're going to go through. All right, so this wire popped right out at me. Boom. And it was broken. I said, oh, hell yeah, because now I know. But here's the kicker. You got to splice that wire. And don't go try splicing this wire and splicing the bottom one and twisting it together like it's a speaker wire. That shit is not going to fly. It's not going to work. And it not work for very long. You got to go down to AutoZone and go buy these blue tabs. See this little blue tab? I have an extra one over here. I can show you guys. The one that I broke. Well, this is what they look like. They have a hole on each side. And you just twist your wire. Make sure you twist your wire. I did mine clockwise. So I twisted like a funnel, like a tornado. And then I was able to use the pliers to grab the wire. See how I grabbed the wire? And I used my razor blade to cut strips around the wire and splice the wire. Once I spliced the wire, I went ahead and clamped the wire. Clamped this that blue piece I told you that I got from AutoZone on this. And then you're going to feel like you don't have enough wire here, but watch this. If you grab it and you pull it, look how much of it comes out. You'll cut with the razor blade, and then you'll twist it like a funnel, and then you'll jam it into the head of here. Don't use needle noses to close it. Use a hefty thing of pliers to clamp it on. Once you clamp it on, you got what we call continuity. Now you got power. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, this works because I already put it together and I put the power on, and the window turned out good. So this video, I hope it helps you out. It'll give you power, and be safe in all you do. We got this one done. Good video for it. You be safe in all you do.